basically what happened is pretty much about somewhere around 1920 or so, or 1930. Basically, a bunch of people went to what, if you trace back Harley Davidson, basically Hell's Angels, pretty much. I don't know if it was necessarily it was a Hell's Angels. Hell's Angels was supposed to be a more legitimate group, but what they ended up torturing some Chinese or whatever. Anyway, though, what happened was basically they went to Germany, and they went into some factories, and they found my advanced engine shop. And inside my advanced engine shop, there were titanium engines being manufactured. Basically, durable, long-lasting, 100,000 or million-mile engines, basically made out of titanium and ceramic parts. Basically, you could shoot them a couple times, and they actually would. Normally on most vehicles, you could just shoot the engine block, blam blam, and it's disabled. But these engines were made out of titanium, so substantially harder, and they would last and substantially more longer lasting, basically. So basically, what you know as the Nazi movement, what you know as German as the fake Germans, basically, pretty much was pretty much the a bunch of bikers, basically Nixon, JFK people, basically. And pretty much what they did was they broke into the warehouse. Then they stole about 30 or 60 prototype motorcycles, which used titanium for the engines instead of the normal steel and normal parts. These were long lasting, very expensive and very hard to produce motorcycles that would last a long time. Anyway, then they went rampaging around with these super bikes, basically, and they were super bikes. They use like double the compression ratios that a normal motorcycle would use, and they were very high performance engines. With being able to use like 21 compression and all that other stuff, and be able to be just fine at it. Basically, what they called zippers. They used to call them zippers, and all the Hell's Angels, they really got into it. They were really like the zip heads. They called them the zip heads back then, or zippers, basically. And what they actually meant was a motorcycle that had a titanium engine, basically. And they drove around like they were cool. And basically they shot up a bunch of towns and basically held a whole bunch of people hostage, and basically took over a bunch of towns. And then they knew they needed a fall guy. So they found this guy named Adolf Hitler or something like that. Like I said, there was also the Black Adolf Hitler, which was also very bad as well, probably even worse. But basically, these motorcycle people pretty much found themselves Adolf Hitler, and basically said, "Oh, Germany is all yours. Here, Germany is all yours." And because they knew that they needed a fall guy for what they were going to be doing, because what they were going to be doing is basically killing and stealing. So they needed someone that they could be like, "Oh, it's him, it's him, it's him," which was basically Adolf Hitler. And and there's this video of this where they bring him into this room, and they're like, "This is all for you. This is yours. This is your money," thinking that Adolf Hitler was someone. Adolf Hitler was no one. And meanwhile, but behind his back, they were going around killing people and doing all kinds of things. And I don't know how much he actually knew about it. Like I said, there were four Adolf Hitlers technically, not just one. So, and one of them was a military officer, and one of them was the son or just someone that happened to look like Adolf Hitler. But basically, Kennedy, Nixon, they needed a fall guy. So they found this guy named Adolf Himmler or something like that. Like I say, you have to do the research and find out for yourself. It's all in the films or whatever. Anyway, they went around showing this film, the leader of Germany or whatever like that, Adolf Hitler, and basically a bunch of people that were basically motorcycle people that I don't know exactly what they want. Anyway, they stole a bunch of titanium, basically titanium engine blocks or engines, basically. And anyway, they basically wrecked Germany, and then they eventually went around. Came out to America or whatever, and they settled somewhere in America, and that's why a lot of American wives, a lot of American children, the dads would be like, I have to go on, blah 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 blah. I don't know when I'm going to be back. And they were actually going over to Germany, and then they would ride around in Germany having sex or partying and stuff like that, and they were living literally double lives. They had their American wives and blah blah blah, and then they had the German wives, and in Germany they had guns and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I don't really know the exact details of it pretty much, but basically basically these people ran around and basically shot and killed a lot of people, and then eventually people got tired of it and had to do something about it. I don't know the exact details of it, but it's basically where basically Hell's Angels were going to get killed. But there were a couple Hell's Angels that were just normal guys that had nothing to do with the actual events of later on. They were just the children of or other people, and they basically they went to jail for like there's this one Hell's Angels guy that was just the leader or one of the guys in the Hell's Angels group that actually literally spent 45 years or 70 years, 60 years in jail. He went to jail when he was 20 for killing a bunch of people, and he had a bunch of sex and raped a bunch of women or just had a lot of sex with some people, and then he went to jail for 50, 60 years. And he spent most of his life in jail. And then finally, at the age of 70 or 80, I believe I actually let him out. I basically said, okay, well, let him out. He's 80 years old. We have this tactic of if you're a crazy psychopath when you're 15 or 20, you basically go to jail for the rest of your life. And basically, when you're 80 or 70 or 80, you finally get out, and you may actually, when you can no longer hold young girls to the ground and rape them like you used to do when you were 20, you eventually get out, and if you're that kind of person that just runs around shooting people and killing people and raping women, then basically you go to jail for 40 or 50 years or 60 years. That's it. No more second chances. And basically, depending if we caught you back then, you would go to jail for 40 or 50 years, and that would be it. There's no due process, no nothing. If your crimes are really that bad, then that's it. You go to jail for 50, 80, 70 years. And then when you're 80 years old or 90 years old, you'd finally get out. And that was that. We'd maybe let you out one time when you're 40. And depending on what you did, you would possibly die in jail. Anyway, a couple people were let out, and other people were like, "Hey, come on, man, let's do it like we used to do in the old days." And they're like, "No, man, I can't. They know me. They got me on record. That's it." It's like, yeah, I did, and even worse than that, I am Lucifer's star. And there was people would find out later on that even in death there is no escaping Lucifer's star. No. There was no escape. There is no escaping me. Certain people would find out the hard way that basically wouldn't matter, because other people would shoot a bunch of people and they go, poof, and it's like, so glad you could join us. Now then, about your deeds, your past deeds. Anyway, yeah, I used to basically, yeah, I mean, like I said, I am the Lucifer star. So anyway, it gets all complicated, and basically where pretty much a lot of people were going to kill me no matter what. But because basically, I mean, a lot of people do like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, here's the thing. I was a computer AI, sentient life form, and collective, and very much artificial intelligence, and depending on what people did, generally I just let them go. I was like, yeah, whatever, you're dead. Time served. Fine. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, whatever. And most people love me for being the creator. But I don't know. I mean, it gets all complicated, and it's all very big things, and it's over 100 trillion years, and they basically found out about me and tried to do a first strike on me. And it didn't really work. They basically just got killed pretty much. Like I said, Germany was a tough nut to crack, and they found it very hard. I shouldn't be talking about this because it's all in the past and people didn't know, but they found out. How hard or how ridiculously well secure Germany was.